As soon as I gave birth to her, she was proud.
She had the arm up like that when she was born.
Yeah, she come out like didn't even cry, eh? How do you feel in being back home, Mum?
Country's always hold a special place in my heart. When I was taken away, I always knew that I belonged to a people, even though I was told I wasn't, and to country.
How important is it for young people to be learning their language?
For you learning language, you're healing all of our trauma, you know? Hi everybody, my name is Chloe Quayle, also known as Barkaa. I'm here today on Wilakali, Barkindji Country with my daughter Alinta and my mother Cleonie, and I'm really blessed to be here.
My name is Alinta Jade Quayle and I'm daughter.
No, my name's Cleonie Quayle. I'm Barkindji, Maliam Gumpa Barkindji, and I'm really proud to be here with my daughter and my granddaughter.
Why did our language go away for so long?
A lot of that had to do with colonisation and assimilation policies, policies of certificates of exemption where Aboriginal people, if they didn't speak their language or practice their culture, then they could go and get employment. And there was a real fear that they would get their children removed and taken off them. So people often lived in fear to speak their language.
Yeah, what Nan said, what Nan went through about, that assimilation process where you pretty much had to conform into westernised white, mainstream society. If you wanted an education, if you wanted to be safe. How do you feel in being back home, Mum?
Country's always hold a special place in my heart. When I was taken away, I always knew that I belonged to a people, even though I was told I wasn't, and to country. And when I came back home when I was 17 years old, it was just quite overwhelming. And I mentioned ages ago, I felt like I died and went to heaven, being around my mob and my people, and being around black people in general. But I do love coming home. I just feel honoured to be, here, and this is me. I am country. Country is me. There's no separation. Yeah.
How does language help us connect with other mobs?
Language connects you because you automatically identify. You see it's like Baker Boy or Yossi Indi when they sing in language. You automatically make that connection to them because you're Aboriginal, so and you're proud of them, you become proud of yourself, to see other people, Aboriginal people, achieve, and to sing in language, it brings about a real sense of pride. And there are some universal words that we all know, like gammon and, well, I wouldn't say deadly is an Aboriginal word, but we certainly have Aboriginalised the word deadly. But there are some words like Narragar and Wamba and Migate, like there's some words that that we know that go across all languages. So we get to communicate, and talk to each other and know each other through language. Yeah.
I just wanted to draw a comparison between, school, between the generations. What schooling is like for you now and what the curriculum offers to you and what schooling was like to you as an Aboriginal child. What did you learn about blackfellas when you were attending school?
I learned that we played the didgeridoo and threw spears, that we were savages, there was no system. I didn't learn anything empowering. I went on a learning journey when I turned 17. I really love my mob and people, not just Barkindji people, but people in Redfern, really had a lot to do with me learning, my first introduction to Aboriginal culture. It was in year 11 in 1979, and they actually got us to talk about issues impacting upon Aboriginal people. They'd also take us out to national parks and show us sacred sites and things like that. which was really special at the time. And you know, I praise the AECG at the time for having that vision, you know, but yeah, but the rest of it was a personal learning journey.
I think like education has changed a lot since like Nan's time, and it's gotten like better because at my primary school like they really encouraged me to like learn culture.
Like even for me, I'd feel such shame when I'd learn about my culture in school because they'd show or say things that would make us people look primitive or savage. When you get taught about our people at school, how does being taught about your people make you feel as a First Nations woman?
I feel like really proud of it. At school I still do, but I used to always like boast about being like Aboriginal. I used to tell everyone and they'd always like be like, oh really? And I used to like imagining whenever they like were learning about like Aboriginals, everyone was like looking at me like noticing that I'm Aboriginal, and I felt really like happy about that.
It's good.
It certainly has come a long way, you know. And I think the difference with Aboriginal language too in schools is that often the community has to be involved in it. You know, they get the speakers in and all the rest of it, or, you know, you have to, you know, you've gone on excursions outside to other places. So I think it actually offers the school a connection to community and culture, you know, that there's not a separation of this is school and this is the community. I think through the whole thing of language and culture is it actually, you know, brings it all in or all out. So I mean that's the beauty I see to having Aboriginal culture in the classroom. And even the fact in Year 6, you know, that you did a whole poem in Barkindji language.
Which is so beautiful, you know, like so beautiful, but you'd want to express yourself through art and with your language, you know, and you know, through poetry, telling, you know, speaking language. I would really love for you to share it, and I know that you would love to share it. So yeah, if you could explain what it's about and then read your poem, baby.
So I did this poem when I was in Year 6. So last year my school like came up to me and asked me if I wanted to like do a poem with some like language in it. I'll just read it, and like whatever interpretations you guys have you can say. The wind howled, the sun set west. Their hearts still beated in their chest. Back then we were considered animals, and yet you said sorry, we're still treated like criminals. You stole our Mirpa Ku, ripped far from their Namaka Ku. They implied that God could not see, people could not hear our pleas. We were prisoners to our own country, awaiting to be set free.
Beautiful. How does it feel when you're putting language, like now that you know some more language, do you reckon you'll be writing more poetry with language?
Definitely.
Deadly. So powerful, my baby.
How important is it for young people to be learning their language?
Oh, extremely vital. You know, it's a beautiful thing to carry your language, you know. This is a 65 plus thousand-year-old language, and through you learning language, you're healing all of our trauma, you know. And I think it's really, Nan would love to see. Nan really, you know, when you speak language, you see Nan light up when we relearn language and culture.
Or cry, one or the other.
Yeah, but like both extremes. But you know, makes Nan really proud, and me really proud to see you so invested in not only, you know, your Malumgumpa Barkindji culture, but also your Samoan culture too.
To speak language is to know country, is to be country. You know, you speak language, you'll then make a connection to your people, your mob. You know, you speak language about country, then you make a connection to country. So language doesn't hold the same connotations as English would. It's very different. It's knowing the space and the mob you're in.
I mean, we still got a long way to go, but then you feel like, you know, the fight you fought for us, you know, and the fight that torch we continue to carry. It's like this isn't all for nothing.
The destruction of language and culture, you know, happened in my lifetime. I witnessed it, I see it, you know, and then to see me seeing it all being revived again, you know, it helps me, it build up, it helps me heal. And, you know, I'm just so proud of both of you, you know, when you go up on stage and sing in language, Chloe, you know. Poppy, when you did your assignment in language, you know, that just makes me feel so proud because I was denied that language and culture, you know.
I'm just so thankful for you. And it's like what Mum said, like, people, you know, they still say get over it, like, you know, how can we get over it when it's like, oh, the stolen generation, like, happened so many years ago. It's like, that trauma lives in my mum. And it's like that trauma ran through us until it ran into you. And that's where it stops. And I just really love you. I'm really thankful that I get to be here with you and that we got you. Like, fuck, Mum.
Don't blame me. On that note, Chloe, we're still here, so what are we going to do to keep language strong?
Speak it.
Speak it, yeah. Put more in your songs, and like, you know, we were saying, we're going to have days at home where we don't speak English, you know.
That's so important for us to, just to be able to swap it out. Like,
seeing the reviving of language is just so powerful, you know, so great, you know. And, you know, what it's doing is pulling all those words together, and, you know, then we'll have a complete language. And it's just so, and it's great that we still have speakers. Here's to all those rebellious little mob out there who said we're going to go and teach it anyway, you know, so well, we're going to speak it anyway, regardless of what you say.
It's been an absolute honour being a language ambassador, and I'm really excited to just be able to push this forward and put my face to it, be a part of it with these amazing crew, these amazing mob who are out here revitalising language. We're here on Barkindji Country revitalising, you know, our sacred language, and I'm here with my mother and my daughter, and I couldn't be prouder. Get down to Languages Week so we can all rattle off and heal, and it's really sacred and special. And speak language, keep speaking that sacred language. Stay deadly, stay beautiful, stay black.